Hello. Thanks for joining us again on the channel. Okay, yes, we've reviewed a lot of these. Too many, probably. But trust me, this one stands out. It caught me off guard. In a good way. Before we get started, there's a special discount if you're interested. The link is in the description and also in the top comment. Now let's not waste any more time and jump right into the details.
Let's start with our first reviewer's experience.
This reviewer begins by clarifying they are not a gamer, but rather someone who is looking for a productivity upgrade from a clunky dual-screen setup for their remote work. After some research, they decided to try a single ultra-wide display. The Switch has been a total game changer for their workflow. The seamless screen without a bezel in the middle and the gentle curve have made a real difference, allowing our reviewer to see more at once without constantly turning their head. The overall resolution and image quality were also a massive step up from what they were using before. However, the setup process came with a steep learning curve. As someone without a high-end gaming computer, their existing graphics cards on both their work laptop and personal desktop couldn't properly handle the monitor's native resolution. Connecting with a single cable resulted in a frustratingly stretched image. The solution was to use this monitor's picture-by-picture feature, which cleverly tricks the computer into seeing it as two separate displays side by side. This fixed the distortion, but it required using two video inputs for a single machine. Because this user runs two different computers and the workaround occupied all the necessary ports, they ended up needing a KVM switch to toggle between their work and personal setups. While the monitor's on-screen menu is a bit basic, it gets the job done. Despite the initial hassle and the need for extra hardware, they are now extremely pleased with the final result. They feel this monitor is a fantastic productivity tool that will serve them well, even offering room to grow if they eventually upgrade their computer hardware in the future.
Great! Now let's see what our next reviewer has to say about their experience.
This reviewer was initially impressed with this monitor's screen. The 40-inch 5K 2K display is visually pleasing and comparable to a much pricier screen our reviewer had used previously. This client highly suggests this size and resolution for it and programming tasks, noting the extra screen space and aspect ratio greatly enhance productivity. While the pixel density isn't the absolute highest, it's more than adequate for comfortable viewing. The subtle curve is a nice touch, keeping the edges of the screen easily readable without distorting the overall image. This reviewer couldn't comment on gaming performance or color accuracy, as those weren't part of their testing. However, this is where the positives end. Our reviewer feels that the features and firmware of this monitor are lacking. Unlike their previous screen, this one doesn't offer advanced capabilities like Thunderbolt connectivity or pass-through charging Ethernet. While they acknowledge that this is a reasonable trade-off given the lower cost, the firmware issues are more problematic. The monitor sometimes enters power-saving mode and fails to recognize that it's still connected to their MacBook. When this happens, switching inputs via the on-screen controls is ineffective, and they're forced to unplug and replug the USB-C connection or, in worse scenarios, physically disconnect and reconnect the power cable. Connecting more than one device makes it even worse. Switching between a laptop connected via USB-C and another via DisplayPort is unreliable, often requiring physically unplugging and plugging in cables. The on-screen controls themselves are unreliable and buggy. Since our reviewer doesn't frequently switch inputs or adjust settings, they find it bearable. However, they suggest that anyone who needs to do so frequently should consider a different brand.
Great! Now let's see what our next reviewer has to say about their experience.
This reviewer purchased this monitor for their wife's office, comparing it to their own impressive dual monitor setup. Having built a powerful computer for their wife, they wanted a display that could truly showcase its capabilities. And let me tell you, with a great processor and a powerful GPU, this monitor made me jealous. The client admits it's not the absolute top of the line, but the display, speed, refresh rate, and other features really brought everything to life. While the colors might not be the most vibrant on the market, this client says it more than gets the job done. The user emphasized that this is a massive monitor, and both the reviewer and their wife are extremely happy with the purchase, recommending it to others. However, they did point out a couple of minor drawbacks. The DPI inputs feel a bit loose and not as firmly connected as they would expect. Additionally, the reviewer thinks the stand could be redesigned for better stability, especially considering the monitor's weight. While they appreciate the backlighting, they worry about the stand's long-term durability, given how heavy the display is. Overall, this client believes it's a great buy. Multitasking is a breeze, and having multiple windows configured in the browser is incredibly smooth. This client mentions that his dual setup is amazing, but this monitor provides a seamless, partition-free viewing experience. They encourage others to consider purchasing it, especially if they can find it on sale. They emphasize the importance of using the correct cables to support the resolution and refresh rate, paired with a strong GPU to truly appreciate this monitor. In short, it's huge, it's ultra-wide and curved, can't go wrong.
That's all for now. If you found this useful, hit like and subscribe. Let's talk in the comments. See you in the next video.